Hello everybody and welcome back to Robert's Reviews. Today we have another Steve Carell film. We are almost, I think we're at the halfway point of Steve Carell films, which is great because we're going to start a couple other series starting in January. I'll talk about that a little bit later. But today we're going to be talking about Hope Springs. Hope Springs was released in 2012. It was directed by David Frankel and written by Vanessa Taylor. This movie I was not looking forward to. Not going to lie to you. Okay, straight up. I was like, it doesn't look particularly good. Mainly because I'm not a huge romantic drama kind of guy. Barely a romantic comedy kind of guy. I liked Crazy Stupid Love. I thought that was a fun movie to watch, albeit kind of long. But I wasn't really looking forward to this one. And then I watched it, and I couldn't stop watching. I watched it straight through. I mean, I watch most things straight through, but this is one of the times where I was like, I don't really care what time it is. I just want to watch this movie and keep watching this movie. So for those of you who don't know about this movie, which wouldn't surprise me because I didn't know this movie existed until I was just doing some research on Steve Carell and getting my list ready, and I was like, oh, what's this? Essentially, it's about these two characters, Kay and Arnold, and they've been married for 30 years. And they realize that their marriage is kind of falling apart. And Kay doesn't want that to happen. Kay loves Arnold. She's like, I want to be with you forever. So, she books a marriage counselor in Maine, which they don't ever tell you where they come from originally, but I'm assuming it's far away from Maine because they have to take an airplane. But, they go to see a Dr. Feld, and Dr. Feld basically goes from step-by-step into what they can do to help the marriage, and it gives them exercises, like one night you have to hold yourself, like spend time holding your partner. There's a lot of sex exercises. It is, I think, rated PG-13, and it is a movie that is fine, I think, for teenagers to watch. I wouldn't recommend young children to watch this movie. There is some, it's not explicit, but it's very, very suggestive, particularly the scene where they kind of try to give a blowy in a movie theater, which I felt was kind of uncomfortable, it was supposed to be uncomfortable. They don't show anything. There is absolutely no nudity or anything like that. I think they fought the MPAA for the rating because I heard that it's supposed to be rated R, which is why I'm assuming it's rated PG-13. But it is highly suggestive, so if you are protective of your children over that kind of thing, this might not be the movie for them to watch. I enjoyed it. I would have enjoyed it a couple years ago. I probably wouldn't have understood most of the jokes or most of the plot really 4 or 5 years ago. I wouldn't have understood it. But now I do, and it's really great. I had a great time. And then eventually they finally get together after a lot of arguments. There's a lot of really nice, really good chunky arguments in this film that I wasn't really expecting. And it really felt good. I mean, it really kind of calmed me down in a way. I was like, okay, this is helpful stuff that this guy's telling them. And eventually they get their marriage revowed, and it really is quite beautiful. I almost cried at the ending. I'm like, oh, they're together. That's the whole movie. But I want to talk about a couple things before I talk about acting. First of all, the cinematography for this movie is fantastic. There are just so many good shots of this film where it's they're not crazy Dutch angles or they're weird angles, but it just feels like the camera is just kind of there. And the camera represents how we feel, right? So, in the beginning, the movie just opens, right? And it just opens with them having, a normal, regular, everyday day. Similar to Date Night, where they had, that weird interlude in the beginning of the movie where, they kind of talked about what they do on a daily basis. Although this was done way better. And they just kind of showed it. And the camera was very still. And then later on, when Kay runs out of the marriage counseling room, the camera's all shaky, and it just shows that the cinematographer understood exactly what emotion they were going for at the time. Because I think a romantic comedy and a romantic dramedy, which for those of you who don't know is a romantic drama that has comedy in it, I think this is listed as a romantic comedy. I would consider a romantic dramedy because there's a lot of drama in this. It makes you feel things. Like when you're sitting there and you know, Arnold and Kay are arguing, because they do that a lot in this film, it's different every time. And you can tell because the camera movements are different. And like in the marriage counseling area, the camera's almost always like stock still at one person, almost like you're viewing them from other people, and it's really interesting and really, really cool. I really enjoyed the cinematography of this movie. If you have not seen this movie, I would recommend watching it. I loved it. It's only like an hour and 40 minutes, and like I sat down the entire time. I didn't even want to leave in an hour and 40 minutes. I was like, I want more of this. This is really good stuff, and a lot of that has to go to the acting, which I'm going to talk about right now. Quick note: it's not on any streaming services unless you have Stars. Like the Hulu with the Stars add-on, it is there. I don't have that, so I rented it on YouTube for like $4. Totally worth $4. It's been a while since I've seen a movie that I liked this much. I think it's been a while since I was able to sit down and really enjoy a movie. This is probably my second favorite movie I've watched all year, behind The Devil All the Time. I think The Devil All the Time is like my favorite movie that I've watched all year, except of course the top 10 movies of all time. Although The Devil All the Time would definitely be on that list. But let's talk about the acting real quick. First of all, Meryl Streep is in this movie. She plays Kay. I've only ever seen one other performance of Meryl Streep, and that was in the Leonardo DiCaprio film Marvin's Room, which she was a lot younger then and was fantastic. And in this movie, she's even better. She plays old so well. She's so good at portraying whatever it is she's got to do. When she was younger, she was a chain smoker and like was able to be kind of hip and crazy. And then now she's just like this gentle woman who just wants to find love. And it's so cool how you can see that transformation with age, right? Because when you age, you're going to change, right? You're going to be a different person. And I think that Meryl Streep was able to kind of change her career towards what she needed to keep going. And that worked really well for her. And I really enjoyed watching her on screen. I hope to be able to do a Meryl Streep series at some point because I have been very impressed with both of the movies that I've seen with her in it. But that may or may not happen. It depends on if I remember to do it at some point. And also how long it takes to get through the Steve Carell films and the Marvel films and all the other series I have planned, which I'm going to announce later. Tommy Lee Jones as Arnold. I don't know if I've ever seen him in many things. I know I've seen him in a couple movies, but I haven't like watched him for the purpose of like analyzing the acting patterns. So I don't know if he normally plays this, but he is a dick in this movie, and it's great. He's just a grumpy old man. He reminds me of the guy from Up, the old man from Up, which is great. Also, quick note about Up. If I don't look like the old man from Up when I grow up, I'm going to be pissed. I have the nose. I'm there. I'm Italian. I have the hair. All I have to do is chop it off right here, and I'll look just like him. I'm short, too. I mean, I want that to happen. I would be a really cool old man from Up. But anyway, Tommy Lee Jones is hilarious because he's so mean. He's argumentative, but for a reason. He argues about everything in this film. It's really great. But you can see that he thinks he's doing the right thing, right? And then obviously Kay will be like, hey, listen, you're kind of being a jerk here. And he's like, dude, I'm just trying to, okay, whatever. And then he kind of drops it. And it's really funny. And his relationship in this movie to Steve Carell, who plays the doctor, is so great because he hates the doctor, but also has a certain respect for the doctor. He picks on the doctor the entire movie, and then in the end, personally thanks him. And it's so great. It's that kind of characterization that is a real life kind of character that we don't see on screen very often, right? We don't see an argumentative, soft person very often. Most of the time, they're like, all right, he's an argumentative person, full on argumentative. No, we need more of these duality kind of people that can do a dramatic but also soft and like relaxed kind of portrayals. And Tommy Lee Jones was fantastic in this movie, and I really enjoyed him. However, I think the best performance in this movie, believe it or not, goes to Steve Carell, who played Dr. Feld. And this is the first movie I would say that he was really a full dramatic character. No comedy involved at all. Full drama. He literally was just the marriage counselor. And he had a lot of screen time. He had way more than I thought he was going to. I thought he was going to be like one scene. He was in like every other scene. And he's chill and calm and collective. And he's just asking questions to the other two people. And he seems so calm and collected and professional. And it's so crazy because we watch him in like The Office. And it's nothing like The Office at all. And I think this is the first step into him doing more drama films. And we're going to see a lot more of those in the month of January and February when we start rounding off the series. Where he does only like strict things. I mean, obviously he does like, you know, Despicable Me 2, 3, and Minions and stuff like that, which I will be reviewing. I think I'm doing Minions and Despicable Me 2 both in January. And of course he's got The Incredible Burt Wonderstone, which comes out like next week or whatever. And these things are funny and they're great and they're hilarious. However, I think he's really good at drama. I think he can focus his entire career on drama and be so good. I mean, this is a movie that I think he could have won an Oscar for if he really, like, wanted to try, you know? I mean, I don't know if this film was even nominated for any Oscars. I have no idea. It should have been, even if just for the cinematography. But all three actors in this movie were just fantastic. And I really enjoyed this movie. I think you already know. I'm going to give this movie an A+, which I guess it kind of seems like I'm giving him away kind of loosey-goosey. However, understand that a lot of my series have been movies that I liked. So eventually we're getting to movies that I don't like, which is what I'm going to talk about right now. I'm going to talk about January real quick because I want you guys to know what is going to be happening in January. Let me open my Roberts Reviews calendar here, my beautiful Roberts Reviews calendar. I can't sell it, but I wish I could sell them. First of all, I'm going to be going on Sunday the 3rd of January. I will be uploading a video about my analytics of the channel. So that way, every year at the beginning of the year, I'm going to talk about how the year before it went and what I learned about filming YouTube and editing and all that stuff and how I do videos. And that'll be another interesting video that you might be interested in watching. We're going to be doing more requests. We have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have 5 requests. So we have about approximately one a week in January. We have Marvel. We're going all the way through Doctor Strange. We're going to be almost done, really, with a lot of the Leonardo DiCaprio films are going to be completed by the end of January. We're going to be, I think, rounding off the real end of Leonardo DiCaprio probably by March. And same with Steve Carell. They'll probably be done around the same time. And of course, we're doing Marvel stuff. We're going to go all the way through Doctor Strange. And then also, we have a couple interesting things. So, for those of you who don't know about HBO, Warner Brothers said they're going to release all of their movies at the same time as they're released in theaters, as well as on streaming on HBO Max, which I'm going to get a subscription to so I can watch these movies. There's a couple movies coming out that I'm interested in, like The Little Things, which comes out on the 29th. So I might upload a couple videos a day on these days when these come out, because I don't want to disturb my regular schedule, but we'll see how that goes. WandaVision comes out on the 15th. That'll be the first Marvel show to come out. It's the first Marvel thing to come out in over a year. So I will be watching that starting on Friday the 15th. I don't know how long it's going to take me to watch it. I think there's 6 episodes. I'm hoping to get it all done in one day. If I can get it all done in one day, I will release it same day. If I don't, it'll be at some point over the weekend or on Monday. It really depends on how much time I have and if I'm willing to stay up all night, which I think I am. But we will see. That is, we really have no idea how that's going to happen. If it does, I'll probably do another video, because right now I have WandaVision scheduled to come out on Monday the 18th, because I'm assuming I can watch it over the weekend. But if for some reason I finish it earlier, I will release the video as soon as it's available. As soon as when I'm filming it, I will upload it immediately for you guys to watch, because I know it's a big deal for a lot of us that watch the channel. WandaVision is we've been waiting for it forever, so I want to get my review out there as soon as possible, so you know my thoughts and my thoughts on the future of the MCU. If I do end up uploading it earlier on the 15th, 16th, 17th, I will upload another video on the 18th, whether it be a Robert's Thoughts video, or if it just becomes another request video, I just do a request early. We don't know. We'll see. Also, Your Honor, I have scheduled to come out the 25th, which is probably a little too close for comfort, if I'm being totally honest. I will get it out on that day. It just will be a little tight. It might be a little bit later in the day. It might be towards noon instead of like early in the morning like I normally upload. Because that is a show that comes out every Sunday. Oh, it's out now. I can watch it tonight. It is on Showtime. So if you have Showtime, you should watch it. It's got Bryan Cranston in it, and it's fantastic. And I'm really excited to watch more of it. So those will be coming out. That video on that entire show will be coming out on the 25th. So if you're interested in watching that, you should watch it up until then. The last episode comes out on the 31st. Crackerjack. Let me double check that. That might not actually come out until February 1st. But yeah, you should watch that show and follow along, and I'll be sure to watch every episode before I upload it. And I'm really excited because it's really good so far. I'm already like 3 episodes in. You really should watch it. It's really good. Whew. So that's my update. With that, I think that's all I have for you today. So I hope you guys are having a wonderful week. Look forward to the new year. Don't drink too much, okay? Kids, don't drink at all. As always, keep watching films and television. Stay educated, and I'll see you guys in the next video.